Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. So glad you're here as always. Terry, I'm in a good mood. I hope you are too.
Yeah, I'm in a good mood.
How's the summer treating you still?
I've been inside a lot.
Is that what you do? You just hibernate?
I said this to someone, I wouldn't even know if my neighbor's house was on fire.
Well, you would because you live in an apartment and there's a fire alarm. So you would know.
Okay, it's just a joke. I'm not.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
I'm the same way. I hibernate inside and just hope the world is doing good. I try to get out as often as I can. This week has been a little rough, but it's, I'm due for my infusion in 4 days. So,
Ooh, snap.
Yeah.
Wow. Right after your rebirthday?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, only a couple days after.
Yeah.
So I'm having breakthrough pain with the cramping of the leg. My legs wake me up in the middle of the night a couple times. So I got to get up and walk. It's like the worst Charlie horses because sometimes it's both legs at the same time. Scares the crap out of my dog because all of a sudden I like jolt awake and just start just being like in the middle of the night and trying to get it to stretch out, trying to walk it out. But you can only take so many, you know what I mean? You can only take so much medication. But yeah, so I've been up a lot. So that's I'm carrying the luggage under the eyes this week. Hopefully when I get my re-up of medication, it'll make things right again. And I won't feel this way.
You're going to up the medication, you said, right? So that you don't feel this way?
No. When I get my next dose of Ocrevus, when I redo that one, I said you can only take so much medication. After a while, you're just like, okay, the Tylenol is not cutting it. The ibuprofen does nothing. The muscle relaxers aren't even a thing that I can take. So you just what do? You just kind of deal with it. I hope that this medication helps so that next week I can feel a lot better to start walking around normally again. But we'll see. I mean, it definitely proved to me this week that, sometimes we go, I don't even know if the medication's doing anything. Well, this week absolutely proved that, yes, in fact, my medication does do stuff because this is how I feel with it. I can only imagine if I didn't have it. You know what I mean?
Bro, don't be paranoid. You look great.
I do look great. Thank you. All right. So yeah, we'll talk drugs another day. Do your research.
Okay,
We'll just tell our listeners to do their research on their drugs.
Always.
Yeah. So tell us about who's joining us today.
Awesome. Yeah, we have Michelle Hammer. So we're kind of stepping outside the MS box right now. So she's a big mental health advocate and speaker. She's going to destigmatize the whole schizophrenia image, whatever that is. So yeah, and she has a huge following on social media.
Yeah, she founded her own clothing line, right?
Yeah.
We met with her a little while ago with Dr. Wagner, and we were doing a project with him. And
That's right.
She was grateful for our involvement, so she sent you that shirt and me some things. So let's bring her in and talk to her about her journey. Hello, Michelle.
Yo, it's nice to see you finally.
Thank you.
Yes, also a pleasure to meet you. I was just talking with Terry before we linked in that we had done the three of us had done some work together about a year or so ago with Dr. Wagner. He was doing a project with stories, and you were kind enough to send us some merch.
Yes. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's awesome. Always hooking me up with stuff. We're always doing videos or watch a video, do a panel. He's very enthusiastic about everything.
He is. He's a great friend of ours.
Awesome.
So on our show, dealing with invisible illnesses, your purvey falls squarely into that. So I have a lot to learn today about how one even gets diagnosed, how we deal with life, the media tells me, and I'm pretty sure they're wrong.
I mean, it's kind of like what makes the news,
Let's start with how we get there. How do we get our diagnosis?
Around ninth grade, I started hearing voices in my head more like one voice in my head telling me, like everything you say is dumb, everything you say is stupid, don't talk, don't say anything, just be quiet, nobody wants to hear you speaking. And the whole thing was, I thought that everyone had this voice in their head. I didn't know that it was just me. So because of this, my grades dropped. My mom tried to help me. She thought that, something was going on. But every time she tried to help me, I thought she was trying to hurt me in some way, because that's a very big thing with people with schizophrenia and a lot of people, like messages I get now. You think the people that are closest to you are the people that are trying to hurt you in some way. So when I made it through high school and went to college, everything's fine for a while. And then all of a sudden, I thought my roommate, my best friend, was trying to hurt me and sabotage me or want me dead. And that was the same exact thoughts I had about my mom in the past. And clicking that, I realized, oh, it is me the whole time. Something's up. So then I went to the health center. They told me in 15 minutes, they were like, okay, you're bipolar, take these pills. That didn't go so well. So freshman year, I went to the psych ward twice. Sophomore year, I
Whoa.
went once. And I was put on this pill. Eventually, I got put on a pill that just really subdued me. And I remember taking it the first time and I was like, wow, everything's just quiet. My fast paced thinking was gone. The mean paranoid thoughts were gone. And I was like, is this how regular people live? They don't just second guess everything they say all the time. It was amazing. But that pill was you had to take it 3 times a day, and it would drop off. Things would just go crazy. The drop off was horrible.
That doesn't sound like a fun roller coaster.
No. So at that point, I was told that I was bipolar. And I kind of knew that that wasn't right, because I looked up all the symptoms and I'm like, this doesn't apply to me, but I didn't know what I had, so I wouldn't say anything. I just was like, whatever. After college, I didn't see that doctor anymore because he was at college, and I was trying to work in New York City, and things were just not going well. I was doing internships, but I was hearing stuff. I was seeing things on the screen. I couldn't function well. I saw a new doctor. I was more open, more honest. And he was like, yeah, I think you have schizophrenia. And I was like, oh, okay. And at first I'm like, I'm kind of bummed out. I'm like, this sucks. What is my life from now on? What are people going to think of me? I don't know what to do. So I go out to dinner with my 3 best friends from college, and we're sitting at this dinner table. Well, I mean, it was at a bar. It was a bar table, whatever you want to call it, whatever. It wasn't that fancy. It was that McFadden's. McFadden's, a great bar.
Whatever. Yeah.
And I was like, guys, I gotta tell you, I found that I have schizophrenia. And they all just looked at me with this look. And then I go, what? And they're in succession, they go, isn't that what you had the whole time? That could have not have been more obvious. And yeah, we told you that. So it was kind of like, if my best friend, exactly, if they already knew and didn't care, it was kind of like, why am I going to care about any horrible or bad discussion I have with someone that I don't care about? And that's kind of just it. How I got diagnosed, I was just telling my doctor I was seeing people in the room. It's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
I don't want to say anything at all that's ignorance. People don't usually accept that there's something wrong, right? Like you did. You're like, okay, something's wrong. I got to go see a doctor. But people are quick to be like, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's just kind of I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to live this way. I don't like living this way. This is terrible. I want to have a better life. And I think at first it was very discouraging, when I was in college, where I was told, take these medications and you'll feel better. And I was like, okay, I'll take them and I'll feel better. But they didn't make me feel better. So I was really like, this is ridiculous. I don't want to take medicine ever again. But then again, bad things happened. So I needed to be on medicine. But it's the whole thing of, you have to try to find the right medicine. And that's what becomes so frustrating for people, because they're like, I tried it. It didn't work. I tried a medicine. I hated it. But then I always try to do the analogy, or if it is an analogy, I get them all confused. If you had a headache and you took Tylenol and you hated Tylenol, does that mean next time you have a headache, you're not going to try aspirin or Excedrin or Motrin? You're just going to live with your headache forever because you hated Tylenol so much?
Good point. That's
Yeah.
a really good point.
Yeah. So you just have to keep trying them. And I get these messages from like moms and they're like, my son won't take his medicine. He said he doesn't like it. Try something new then. That's like the most obvious answer, but that's my opinion as lived experience. A doctor would probably say, well, if they try it for a few days, then it'll feel different and they might like it eventually. I don't like that answer because I'm not that kind of person. If you give me a pill that I don't like, I'm never taking it again. And that's me speaking from lived experience, and a doctor probably would not recommend that.
Sure.
But that's
Yeah.
my experience that I would say.
Yeah. A lot of times the doctors would say, it has a load-in period. Like
Right. I don't like that. No,
it has
if
to
it,
take effect.
yeah, I'm not
So-
into that. If it doesn't help me immediately, I'm not going to take
So
it
you know-
anymore.
Immediately you can tell, like, I mean, within half an hour. It's
Well,
not something that
just
you,
like I've taken, like, I tried it, like it was like a new age pill. Try this new one. I took it. I could barely get out of bed.
The zombified.
Right. And then
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah.
not taking this ever again. And I was like, well, I spoke to the doctor and he said, if you take it for maybe a week, then you won't have that side effect and you'll feel better. I go, I'm never taking that again. Are you kidding me? Never again. I'm not taking it for a week. I'm not
In my head,
torturing
it's-
myself for a week for this maybe to make me feel better. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and I think that opens the door widely to self-medication.
Yes.
Because if it doesn't work immediately, then you go, well, I know this does. It's not healthy, but it works.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And
Which-
that could potentially go down an addiction. Like it could go a whole other way.
that's what I'm saying. They want you to stay on that for a week, and then it doesn't work.
Exactly.
You've been
How do
on
you
it
know
for
it's
a
going to
week
work
already.
after a week? But why do I have to be tortured for a week for this pill to maybe work? I don't like that. That's not cool with me. Like, I don't do that as a person living, like I keep saying, with lived experience.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
never do that. Stay on something for a week. That makes me feel terrible because maybe next week I might feel better. Like, no, that's awful. Like, would you date the most horrible woman in the world because in a week she might be better? She's just bad at dating people for a week. You know what I mean? You go out on a date and you have to see horrible rom-coms. You know what I mean? Or something like lose a guy in 10 days, except after the 10 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would you
Yeah.
torture yourself? Why would you
Yeah.
torture yourself for a week?
That's a
Because it
great
might be
point.
positive next week.
Most people don't even go on a second
You're
date
right.
if the first
Exactly.
date was bad. So yes.
Yes, it's just like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would
Makes
you
sense.
continue to torture yourself? Maybe, this person, they're a good cook and they'll cook for you in a month. You'll have a great meal. Like,
Yeah.
no, nobody does that.
That's
You're
a
making me
great way
double
to
think
work
some of
it.
the things I'm taking right now. So yeah.
Yeah. It's like, say, like, when I first took that pill, I was like, is this how people feel? Wow.
That must have been a trip.
I was like, I'm going to go take a nap.
Did people think you were dramatic when you said stuff like,
I didn't really say that to anyone about that pill. It was just such an amazing thing for me to experience because I was like, my mind is quiet. What's going on? This is what?
do people think you're dramatic in the beginning when you're like, I hear voices? Are they like, oh, stop it?
No. I think they just thought I was just absolutely out of my mind, like ADD or something like that. I don't know, a lot of energy. That's how, I mean, my friends already knew, but they, but they didn't really say it.
When you're in public and you're walking around, could you tell when someone has it?
Usually, yeah.
Really? Okay.
But I mean, I always try to show like I live in New York City, right? And I
Yeah.
always explain to people like how to hide your schizophrenia. I always explain these are big headphones, but like put your AirPods in or your earbuds. AirPods are expensive. I don't even own
Yeah.
a pair of those because they're
No,
too
me neither,
expensive
see.
for me. I'll lose because I've lost so many headphones. Just putting it in there that I don't
These
have
are
money.
cheap,
Now you
yeah.
guys know I don't have money. Just letting you guys know, even though my friend's 13-year-old kid has a pair of AirPods because he has a grandma. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay, popping off. Sorry about that.
No,
Sometimes I get
true
passionate.
facts.
Yeah, okay. So you walk around with those AirPods in your ears, right? And a pair of sunglasses on. Everywhere you walk around New York City, people are talking on the phone in their AirPods, right? So then it's so who knows if you're on the phone or not, and you have sunglasses on, you're not like staring around. People can't see where your eyes are weirdly looking or staring at points. So nobody knows if you're on the phone or not. But if somebody does catch you talking to yourself, this is New York City. It is not the craziest thing you're going to see all day.
Good point.
Think about that. Yeah. You're going to be
Really
like, is
good
that
point.
girl talking to herself? Oh, wait, what is that guy doing over there? Like, why is that half naked person? Like, what is that?
And we're not
Okay.
even in the subway.
The subway.
We're on ground level.
There was almost a fight in the subway the other day that I was on. I don't know if I could say why on this podcast. Are you allowed to? Is it?
Terry's the editor, so go for it.
I had my headphones on and I'm looking down and I hear a guy going, "Don't smoke that in here." And I'm like, what's happening? And then he stands up and then the other guy stands up and then everybody starts standing up. But then I see the guy goes through the doors and the other people moved over my side and snapped me. I go, what just happened? They go, oh, that homeless guy was about to smoke. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Yet they call you crazy.
Exactly. Me, the schizophrenic person on the subway, was doing just fine, not doing anything. But that guy about to smoke, there was going to be a fight.
So you've taken this and you've turned it into your own personal art form and line of apparel. So I want to talk about that because it's pretty awesome. I've checked it out.
Thank you.
So we've given this a space, right?
Mhm.
We've given all of our stuff a place to live, and that place is, if I'm saying it right, Schizophrenic NYC, right? That's the name of the company?
Yes.
Or
you can stick a dot in there, schizophrenic.nyc. I mean, it is schizophrenic NYC, but then I sometimes say a dot because the website has the dot, the TikTok has the dot, the Instagram has the dot, but the YouTube has no dot because they don't allow dots. I don't know. Whatever you want. You did say it right, and then I interrupted you.
That's
You were
okay.
right. You were right.
No, you're great. You're great. Yeah.
So, like I said, Terry has a piece. My daughter has your stickers.
Awesome.
Here too. I just don't know where to put it yet.
Talk about, if you don't mind, how therapeutic that is for your mental health to have this artistic space to exist in.
I mean, to have like a clothing line where I think what's most therapeutic about the whole thing is that I pop up in New York City around either different markets or different parks. And it's really the conversations I get to have with people that's really so great. Like I've spoken to, younger girls and they told me that their mom's schizophrenic, and they didn't live with her. And they're like, what does she experience? What's it's like for her? And it was like a hard question to answer because also, everybody experiences this differently. So it was just, trying to tell them just things they experience without it sounding like their mom's not doing well in some way. And then one time a woman got really passionate because she was talking to me about her son with schizophrenia. And she said, this is the first time I've ever spoken about my son without having to defend myself or defend him. It's just talking, because it's just like just having conversations, or just people are like, my brother's schizophrenic. I love what you're doing. And just having conversations with anyone that works in the field, or just people or lived experience, or people with schizophrenia or other mental illnesses. It's being able to speak to people, just real fluid people is the most rewarding part of the whole thing. Because that's the whole idea behind everything, like the shirts, everything that I was doing. It was just, let's get people talking about mental illness, because the more we talk about it, the less stigma there will be. Because there's so much stigma in New York City with mental illness, because you see, like I said, there's crazier things than just me talking to myself. But those crazier people, or whatever you're going to see, they associate maybe those people with that person as mental illness. I don't want to be associated with that person, So it's such a taboo thing.
What would you say is the worst stereotype you've encountered? Because I know the worst stereotype that I can think of, but
I mean, to me, I think if anything, people are going to say things behind my back and not straight to my face. I think people have asked me if I've been arrested before.
Okay.
But I think people mostly think violence. Violence is really the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So are these your triggers? Like if people ask you, have you been arrested before? Is that like a stupid question? I know.
It's what people are going to always ask stupid questions.
That we for MSers, we get triggered a lot because someone might be like, "Oh, you're having a lazy day." That messes with us because we're like, "Yo, you have no idea." Do you have triggers like that people say shit and you're like, "Yo, I'm about to slap you"?
Well, I mean, one time I hurt my knee, and then like an EMT guy was gonna bring me somewhere in like his in the ambulance, and he was like, "Are you healthy?" I go, "What's healthy supposed to mean?" I'm like, "Well, do you have any illnesses or anything?" I said, "Oh, I have schizophrenia." And he goes, "Are you hearing voices right now?" I go, "No, I'm in here for my knee." And then I just got out of the ambulance and called a taxi to this MRI place I was trying to go to in the first place.
I think the one that I always hear is that what's portrayed on TV and in movies a lot is the schizophrenic character has violent tendencies, has destructive tendencies. Like it's always negative. It's never like they're never portrayed in like positive lights. You know what I mean? And I know that's not right.
I mean,
Like-
yeah, there's never been a movie where the schizophrenic person was the hero.
Right.
That's definitely not ever happened.
It's not a Marvel character.
No, there's no Marvel schizophrenic character. That's the movie we got to make. We should make that. Let's make that movie. Okay, that's our plan. We're gonna set that in stone right now. We're making a movie.
What about Fight Club? Is that guy?
I don't know with Fight Club. I don't
Yeah,
know what's
it is.
happening there. Is he schizophrenic?
Yeah, it
Is
is.
Is that
but-
what they say? It seems like almost dual personality or whatever.
Well, yeah, but again, not portrayed in a positive light.
No, but that movie was good. I like it.
It was a good movie,
That's
yeah.
a good movie. I don't know. I mean, he's shooting himself in the mouth and he's still alive. That was the craziest thing.
Yeah. I would say spoiler alert, but it came out 30 years ago.
I know,
so you
yeah,
had
that movie's
time to
old
watch
enough.
it.
That
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it, I didn't just ruin the ending for you. There's even more. I want to know who is Tyler Durden? Should we reveal
Yeah,
who
there you
Tyler
go.
Durden really is? Because then we'll really spoil it.
They were both at the
Wow.
soccer. You've seen it. So yeah, it seems to be an uphill battle for someone to dispel those myths because they're all negative. It's never like, he's schizophrenic, but he, gardens and does laundry at the same time. Like it's fine.
The only positive thing that people think is like, oh, are you an artist? Are you a good artist because of your schizophrenia? Oh, those mentally ill people, they're such good artists.
Right.
That's the only, and it's like I was always an artist. That's also an insult too. I'm not an artist because of my mental illness. Like mental illness doesn't cause great artist. What do you have to say that about me?
Yeah.
But
right.
I mean, it's not like some of my designs didn't come from like very intense emotions, but like
Sure.
that's everyone who does art.
Yeah, that's art. That's what it is.
That's what art is. It comes from your emotions. Like,
Exactly.
yeah. But like that's the positive people try to put into it.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, thanks. Thank you that my art's good because I have a mental illness. Okay, thank you for belittling my art. But okay, I'll take a compliment wherever you want to give me one. Thanks.
They minimalize it down to just, what are you saying? Like if I didn't have this, the things that I'm drawing now wouldn't be good.
Art is just expression. It's just an expression.
That's all it is.
Yes.
That's why, you know what? That's side note. That's why I never understood why kids get grades in art school or in art class. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to grade art? It's subjective.
It should just be like effort you put in. Just because you particularly might not be the best artist, but if you look like you put effort into it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I was such a bad art student. So tell my art teacher that.
The best compliment I got in art class was in high school. The art teacher said, "I don't hate that." That's as high as it got for me.
Nice.
Is schizophrenia genetics? Does it get passed down?
It can be. I know that like back in like the 1920s, 30s or something, my great grandmother was committed and they said she had schizophrenia, but like that was a long time ago. And at that time, husbands could commit their wives. So we don't really, they said she had schizophrenia. Who knows what happened to her, really? And then I have a cousin on my dad's side, my dad's first cousin, where we first like learned about her. Like in my parents' wedding album, there's a beautiful girl. And we're like, who is this? They're like, that's your cousin Lori. And we're like, that's Lori? What are you talking about? Because when we first met Lori, we were little and we thought she was so cool because she wanted to hang out with the kids. And then as we got older, we're like, there's something different about Lori because she talks like this. right? But it didn't happen until she got older. And then this is another funny story, which I don't know if you'll have to edit this one out. But me and my cousin Peter, he's my age, a bunch of years ago, we went to go see my grandma because family was out of town for a thing. So, and we somehow came up and we're like, so what happened to Lori? Like, what happened to her? Because she used to be fine. And then something like, what? And my grandma Blanche goes like this. Well, Lori, she went to Israel and she smoked a lot of the marijuana and didn't come back the same. And me and Peter go, we don't think that's what did it, but okay. That's what she said.
I love the impression too.
That's
You're
how she
so
spoke.
funny,
That
dude.
is how she spoke. That's how she
I
spoke.
can see it. I can absolutely see it.
Yeah. So that's what I know about Lori, but that she's very nice. She has a lot of cats and stuff. She lives somewhere in Brooklyn. I don't know. I guess she's in her 60s now, I guess. But I think she has some tinfoil on her windows. But she's a nice lady. She's nice. I haven't seen her in a while. Hope she's doing well. I don't know.
Lori, reach out.
Yeah, Lori. You listen to this, Lori? Hit me up. Hit me up, Lori.
I know you told us how old you were when you got it, but it's not something you're born with, right? It's something that
I don't
comes
know.
into your life. Like, okay, so does anyone know it?
I think it's both. Maybe there was a predisposition. I don't know. I did also get a concussion in 8th grade. So who knows if that messed with something too.
So can someone get it out of the blue? Like all of a sudden next day I start to...
I would think something would have to happen. So it can be caused by
Okay.
trauma in some way. I think also there's genetics, trauma. There's all kinds of arguments. There's all kinds of studies. Recently, one guy was going around and he was saying that drugs definitely cause it. You know, like there's always people claiming certain things. So I think it's just one of those things that people don't really know the cause, and they're just going to keep claiming things over and over again.
From what I know, it seems to be most prevalent, kind of like MS. Teenagers to mid 30s is the height of diagnosis. And you know why? Because all the hormonal changes, all the biological changes. Yes, it can be diagnosed at any point, but the top of the bell curve would be pretty much really close to MS. It's mid teens to mid 30s is the height of it. Not to say that you can't be diagnosed in your 40s. I'm gonna say be diagnosed in your 40s.
Yeah,
but it seems like something that like turns on, like you said, you had pre-genetic markers and then a bunch of conditions happened, and then there you go, kind of like MS. So
I just feel like sometimes maybe you had hit that adulthood, and that's when it just smacks you in the face because you're like, why can't I do anything? What's getting in the way? And then you kind of realize something's up. And why can't you do everything that everyone else is doing? What's in my way? What's going wrong? That's what I think. Plus, also, like being diagnosed bipolar in college is like, I feel like that's everyone sometimes in college. Yeah. That's pretty common if you think about it, because everyone's like, let's party. Oh God, no, I have an essay now. Oh, I'm going to cry. Like college is so up and down all the time with stress. The stress levels of college, like it's very easy to get diagnosed with something if you go to a doctor at the health center, and if you're expressing your feelings of college, you almost everyone can get a diagnosis if they're stressed out in college. In my opinion, from lived experience, I am not a doctor. I'm in Canada telling you that.
In Canada, we have the Schizophrenia Society of Canada.
Yes.
In the States, I think you have American Psychiatric Association. Does that sound right?
There's a lot of associations.
There is.
There's tons. There's a bazillion. Who knows is what? I know there's APA, and then there's like tons of nonprofits for all kind of psychosis, schizophrenia. Tons of fun ones. Tons of fun ones. And then all the NAMIs, and they just do every mental illness. They're fun.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to go sideways again, but psychosis, is that a form of schizophrenia? Because I know people that's gone through it.
Yeah, there's psychosis with schizophrenia, but you can have psychosis tendencies with many other illnesses.
Sure. Yeah, even MS.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wiring of the brain.
And when I'm alone, I have conversations with myself sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll start saying stuff and I'm acting like the other person. And then I'm like, wow, if someone's here, they think I'm crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, people do that. When people see my videos of me talking to myself, they're like, I do the same thing every day. Does that mean I have schizophrenia? And I always got to go, how badly does it affect your life? How badly does
I
it
get
affect
it.
your
I
life?
get
And
it.
it's also,
I
I
get it.
say, I take like 6 medications to make this is the only thing happening. You know, if I wasn't on those medications, this would be way worse than what you're looking at right now. You know?
Everyone has an internal monologue or dialogue. Everyone talks, everyone hears something up there.
Mm-hmm.
I had this, I had to take this training way back in the day, and it was a full 8-hour training. And when we walked in, the first thing they did was they handed you a pair of AirPods, or they were wired back then. So they handed you earbuds, and it's this little, you remember the iPod Nano? Remember that little guy? That little
Yes.
tiny little thing?
It's
It
coming
had,
back, actually.
it is. It had one track on it, and it was an 8-hour track of voices. There was a voice down here. There was a voice up here. There was a voice in front of me, and there was a voice behind me. They were all different, and they were all saying different things. And our task for the entire day to complete the training was we had to go through multiple scenarios, including our lunch, including our dinner. We had to do traffic. I was in law enforcement. We had to do traffic stops. We had to conduct in field interviews. We had to do all of the things that law enforcement does with all of the voices happening throughout. You couldn't shut it off or you failed the entire assignment.
That's
and you failed the day.
amazing. That's amazing.
And it was by far the most nerve-wracking thing I have ever done. And to this day, that training was probably 20 years ago. To this day, I still talk about how hard it was just to get through those 8 hours. Because I'm hearing this one voice back here is just going, tuck, 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 tuck. And then the voice behind me is going, no one believes you. No one believes you. Tuck, tuck.
Man.
No one believes you. And I'm like, hi, I'm Officer Spade. And all I hear is these voices. And I'm like, I can't do anything. One day was enough for me to check out of the entire, like, nope, don't ever want to have that again. And I agree with you. Any medication that they would have given me, I would have taken immediately. It was terrible. It was a training module. All the people involved were, the actors. So everybody knew it was a whole training day, but you had to go through a normal shift. You had to drive the car. You had to call on the radio. You had to do reports, everything with this thing just running all day long. It took me 2 days. You can ask my wife. 2 days. I didn't speak to anybody. I didn't leave the room. I had to decompress.
Wow.
I locked myself in. I was like, nope, I have to make sure that never sticks around.
PTSD.
I was trying to avoid that. So I had to clear it. So I did I did my grounding work. I did, did all that stuff.
So they do that in Canada?
No, this was, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Oh, you're in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm between Philly and the Delaware line. I live in
Nice.
the county. I'm in the counties.
I can't believe they actually do that in police training. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it was a specialized training. It was a proto, I was like the guinea pig class. And now it's mandatory.
It should be mandatory.
Because,
it should be.
My God, I'll tell you what though, it definitely put something into my head back here that said maybe the person listening, whenever every interaction going forward after that was maybe the person isn't on drugs. It was okay, maybe this is not a chemical thing. Maybe this is a different chemical thing, like a brain chemical thing, not a substance chemical. So It definitely made me approach people differently.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic training.
I mean, I see people with schizophrenia all the time. I remember one time I was in a dumpling place and I'm just eating some dumplings there, and there was a guy next to me wearing like a suit that he got at Salvation Army or something, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's looking over here having a conversation with nobody, and then he turns to me and I go, how you doing? He goes, I'm good. And then he's and then he goes talking to nobody again, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. All right, just whatever, doing his thing, not hurting anybody. Do your thing.
So I would say, Terry, the closest thing, if you wanted to experience it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, get a full-on bar, ambient, like a cocktail lounge full of conversations in your headset, and try to walk around your whole day with it playing as loud as you can. It's you just can't focus.
Do you know of any kids? Like, what's the youngest age you know of someone that got diagnosed with schizophrenia?
There was a TV show on like TLC or something a bunch of years ago, and there was like these children that were basically diagnosed with it when they were like maybe 5 or younger. That's what I
Wow.
saw.
How?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but I mean, that's really unfortunate. I know they had a daughter that had it, so they had another kid, and then the other kid seemed to pretty much have it too. Which is
Okay.
devastating. I know that I did interview with a like a student or something that we were doing a little interview thing, and she asked me
Yeah.
like, "Oh, how old were you when you were diagnosed?" And I said 22. She goes, "Oh wow, I was diagnosed when I was 12," and I was like, "Really? Wow."
Jeez. And you know, at that age, you don't have the wherewithal to say, I don't want to be on this medication anymore. You just take the meds that your parents tell you when you're 12.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
as
have
an
a
adult, you go,
friend. I
nah.
had a friend who's been on Zoloft since she was 12, and she wanted to have kids, and she was like, you know, she wanted to be off of Zoloft for that, but she was like, kind of like, I can't not take it anymore. I've been on it since I was 12. Like my brain developed while I was on Zoloft. I
Yeah.
Not her
can't stop.
fault,
I
right?
can't stop. I'm stuck on it. But, her kids are fine. They're fine. Would have been worse if she stopped.
Absolutely. So what is
Wow.
something you want people without schizophrenia to know about people with schizophrenia?
Just that we're normal people. I mean, if we're a little quirky, I mean, everybody is quirky, but you don't have to treat us any differently. We're really just like everybody else. If you have any questions, ask away. If you are curious about something, why they're acting a certain way, you really can just ask why. But for the most part, we're really just like everybody else. That's what I would think.
And not the level of violence you see on TV portrayed.
Not level up, but every time I say that or every time I make a post, it's but some can be violent.
Yeah.
My loved one, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
okay, yes. But then I always say, anyone can be violent, But as I say, I always try to show people schizophrenia is not as violent that you think it is, because you see in all the news that it's violent, but really when you have it, you're more likely to be the victim of violence rather than the perpetrators. Like always on the news, there's a fire in the Bronx. Every day there's a fire in the Bronx. Does that mean don't move to the Bronx? You're going to be having a fire in your apartment? No. Like calm down. Just calm down. Calm down.
Well, I want to thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing your experience and your journey.
Thank you.
And your art. Thank you for sharing your art. And Terry's gonna link everything to the show.
Please
and
do.
Please go and support Schizophrenic NYC.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Nice shirt.
Well, it was cool of Michelle to stop by. Really cool chatting with her, getting a firsthand account of what it's like trying to operate in the world.
Yo, she's so open about it.
Yeah, and she's doing a good job. And that highlights the fact that, when you have any condition, that you sort of become the ambassador for that. People want to know, and you're going to be the face that they associate it with. I highly encourage everyone to go check out her stuff. Terry will link it. Thanks to Michelle for stopping by. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end as always. I'm not going to say much, but I will say that next episode is going to be extra special. All of our episodes, all of our guests are great. This one, you're going to know right away. It's not going to take much introduction. That's all I'm saying.
So subscribe so you can get notified when the next episode comes out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Comment on Terry's hair. Let him know how he's doing. He wants to know. I think it's fine. I think you look good. It's giving very 90s boy band. No, I'm kidding.
We're done.
Talk soon. Bye, everybody.
Later. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4, the letter T, below zero.com. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. And if you don't want to email us, no problem. We're on Instagram as @40belowzero. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk soon.